Your current objective is shown at the top left of the screen. Walk to the blue marker to complete the current objective. You've been awarded some action points. These are displayed
Awesome.
in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience level for the game.
Awesome. Right, why is it running really shit?
This is one of the many types of route tasks to be discovered. Keep an eye out for many more types and styles of route tasks, which can involve placing, collecting, or fixing a variety of things. Head into the main building, and you'll continue your induction there.
Hold on. Hold on. You're not seeing a game here. Hmm. this one, I think it is. It's not, something's not right. System. Hmm. It doesn't like this game, does it? Let me, I'm just adding it to it, because for some reason it doesn't seem to, go away.
Welcome to Train Sim World, an immersive and highly detailed rail simulation featuring authentic routes and trains from around the world. This is the Training Center. Here you can learn about how to navigate and interact with the world, as well as how to operate the many trains.
Yes, crack on with it. Didn't mean to do that.
Let's start by looking around. Find each of the markers and look at them. Your current objective is shown at the top left of the screen.
Yeah, whatever.
Walk to the blue marker to complete the current objective. You've been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience level for the game. This is one of the many types of route tasks to be discovered. Keep an eye out for many more types and styles of route tasks, which can involve placing, collecting, or fixing a variety of things. Head into the main building, and you'll continue your induction there. You can pause Train Sim World at any point to review objectives and a lot of other information about what's happening at the moment. Try it now, and then return to the game after you've had a look around. Now that we've covered some of the basics of moving around and interacting with the environment, let's take a walk through the building and find the trains.
Found them.
This is Central Square. From here, you can explore the main training center depot and surrounding yards.
Whoa, that's a big area, isn't it? I wanted to try a different game for a change.
Your journey operating trains is
Oh, that's
just getting
alright.
started here in the training center. Remember, you can always come back here from the main menu to continue.
I wanted to try a different looking game. Alright. It's a bit chilly in here, I'll tell you that for free. Fuck off with your fucking things, Game Pass.
This module will cover the on-screen overlay, known as the heads-up display or HUD, that is shown when you are in control of a train.
I wanted to try a different...
Climb up the ladder into the locomotive and then sit in the seat. Welcome to the most important seat in the train. While sitting here, you'll be in full control. Before you think about moving the train, though, let's look at the HUD overlay that's appeared on the bottom right. The heads-up display is a guide to what your train is doing.
I've got it on Game Pass, mate. Train
The main
Sim
part of the
3.
HUD is the speed display. A white bar will appear around the outside to show your current speed, and the red mark indicates your maximum permitted speed.
Yep.
This is the direction display. An arrow will indicate forward, reverse, and
Cool.
neutral directions. This is the power display. A number will indicate what position the power or throttle control is in.
Is my stream
These
lagging?
are the brake indicators. The exact ones shown will vary by train and will often be visible in the train itself on various gauges. They tell you what's happening in the braking system. The most important one is the BC or brake cylinder. If that's reading 0, then your brakes are released. Anything else, and brakes are applied and you won't be able to move.
It's lagging. I've actually tried to put all the things in.
Every train
I don't get why it's lagging. It's not even a heavy game.
can have small variations in the HUD unique to the way it works, but
I'll
they will
try it in
mostly
a minute.
look the
I'll
same.
try something in a minute.
As you learn to control new trains, study the HUD and learn how it helps you operate it. If you want to see this again, you can rerun this training module at any time.
I'm gonna try that and see if that helps. Let's see if this has changed anything. With any luck, yes, but we'll see.
In this training module, you're going to look at making the train move and then bringing it to a stop again. While many trains have different controls and are operated in different ways, there are basically always 3 controls that are common and are required to move the train.
I have got an idea. You're gonna say goodbye to
The
my camera,
reverser sets the direction between forwards and backwards. The brakes are used to slow or stop the train. The throttle controls how fast the train accelerates. We want to move the train forwards, so move the reverser in that direction.
1 second.
Keep the brake control and release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar, pointing upwards. This will release. Watch the brake cylinder, or BC gauge, to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. Apply some throttle. As you apply power, notice the amp bar rising. This is the amount of power being fed into the traction motors. Now that you've reached your target speed, you can move the throttle control back to 0. The train will then coast on level ground, and the train will only slow down very gradually.
Marvelous.
While the specifics of operating brakes vary from train to train, the basic process of stopping is fundamentally the same. Bring this train to a complete stop by holding the brake control in the apply state until you see the brake pipe control needle in the center of your cab desk showing about 4 bar. The amount of braking you'll need to apply also varies depending on whether you're going uphill or downhill, and how heavy your train is.
Is that running any better? Please tell me that's running better.
Stopping a train is one of the biggest challenges of controlling them, particularly stopping them in the right place. That concludes this module. Restart the module to learn the steps again, or move on to the next module.
Is that running better? Good. So I wonder if this game... I don't think this game is, I don't think this game is, yeah. Multiplayer.
This module will go over the fundamentals of operating junctions to change the path your train will take, and how to navigate using the map. Most rail lines around the world are controlled remotely by a signaling center or dispatcher. From the perspective of the train, the direction taken is automatic. But within yards and depots, many small and frequent movements are required. This makes remote control of the track impractical. In these locations, the direction taken is manually controlled. You can set junctions by either walking up to them and interacting with them, or going to the 2D map and changing them from there. Let's change this junction by hand first. Walk over to it and change it by operating the lever. Notice how the point blades move on the track. Try moving it a few more times until you can see how it works. Let's head over to the train, and then we can look at the map.
Yeah, what am I looking at the map for?
Your junctions are set correctly. Let's get the train moving and see it all working. If you can't remember how to make the train start and stop, there is a training module you can rerun to remind yourself. Keep the brake control and release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar. Watch the brake cylinder, or BC gauge, to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. Apply some throttle to get the train moving. Now that you've reached your target speed, you can move the throttle control back to 0. The train will then coast on level ground, and the train will only slow down very gradually. Bring this train to a complete stop by holding the brake control in the apply state until you see the brake pipe control needle in the center of your cab desk showing about 4 bar. That concludes this module. All the junctions in the training center are manual, so you can go anywhere you wish using the map and by changing junctions manually. If you want to practice, go to Explore on Foot in the training center. You'll find trains dotted around, and you can practice driving them and moving them around the yard. Don't forget, you can always rerun this training module later if you can't remember any of what's been covered.
So let me carry on.
In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this Class 66 locomotive. During this brief introduction, you will be covering the critical driving controls and freight operations. When you're ready, climb aboard to get started. You need to insert the reverser first, and then you can move it forwards to set the direction of travel. Set the headlights to let others around us know this train is operational. The direct brake has 3 positions: apply, hold and release. They're directly affecting the brake cylinder pressure, shown on the left-hand side of the desk or on your HUD under the BC entry. While in the apply state, the brake cylinder or BC gauge will fill, meaning more and more brakes are being applied. Move the handle to the hold position to maintain the same level of braking, and back to the release position to reduce or completely release the brakes. The direct brake is used to apply the brakes only on your locomotive and are faster to apply and release than the main brakes. If you're only running as a light locomotive, as you are now, it's usually quicker to just use these brakes. Now that the brake pipe control is at 5 bar, the brakes will fully release. Watch the brake cylinder or BC gauge to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. As you apply power, notice the amp bar rising.
Yeah,
This
you've
is
already
the
told me
amount
this
of power
shit.
being fed into the traction motors. But try to keep this out of the red, as it means you're overpowering the motors and could damage them. Coasting is a method used to officially maintain speed and built in London, Ontario, Canada by EMD, the British Rail Class 66 is a 6-axle diesel-electric locomotive, used primarily for freight operations in the UK. Introduced in 1998, the initial order of 250 locomotives was said to be the biggest single order of a locomotive since the era of steam trains.
Are you playing this game by any chance?
More than 500 Class 66 locomotives were built, with the final one being delivered in 2016. The Class 66 has earned the nickname Shed because of its shed-like pitched roof. Okay, come to a stop using the direct brake now. The freight wagons are behind us, so change direction with the reverser, then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map.
Does help if I take the brakes off, doesn't it?
The
I'll be
junction
right
is
back.
correctly aligned, so you can now couple up to the freight. Approach slowly and stop just before the buffers. Don't forget to release the direct brake before you apply power.
I need to fix the other ones as well.
You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. So let's connect the formation using the external camera.
I'd rather
Access
not.
the external camera. Now couple the locomotive to the freight wagons. Return to the first-person camera. Nice work! Change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. Remember, you can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. So let's uncouple from the wagons on foot this time. That concludes this training module.
Oh yeah. What train should we go on now? What train should we go? Should we try one of these? Or should we try one of these? I wanna do I wanna do one of these. Dum blum ding. Apparently it's bedtime.
In this training module, you'll be taken through the operation of this Class 375. During this brief introduction, we will be covering the critical driving controls and passenger operations. Look, when you're ready, climb aboard to get started. take a seat in the driver's seat. This is where you'll be spending most of your time. Firstly, you will need to insert the master key to activate the desk. The reverser controls the direction of travel. Set the headlights to let others around you know that this train is operational. For this introduction, you will be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Open the passenger doors to allow boarding. Now close the doors before departure. Now drive a loop of the circuit to get used to the controls. The train features a combined brake and throttle power handle, so pull the lever towards you to release the brakes and get... Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress. The British Rail Class 375 is an electric multiple unit and is part of Bombardier's Electrostar family. 140 Class 375s were produced by Bombardier Transportation between 1999 and 2005. The Class 375 has a top speed of 100 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
You are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force to bring the train to a gentle stop. Nice job! The train has safely come to a stop. You can now use the door control. Proceed to the next stop unguided and see how you get on. Good work! That concludes all of the basics of operating this train.
And all the other trainings are about the
In
similar.
this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this Class 395 Javelin. During this brief introduction, we will be covering the critical driving controls and passenger operations. Look, when you're ready, climb aboard to get started.
I'll climb aboard in a minute.
Take a seat in the driver's seat. This is where you'll be spending most of your time. Firstly, you will need to insert the master key to activate the desk. Set the headlights to let others around you know that this train is operational. For this introduction, you will be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Open the passenger doors to allow boarding.
1 minute.
Now close the doors before departure.
No shit.
The reverser controls the direction of travel. But before attempting to apply power with the Class 395, you should check that power is available.
How?
In the top left corner of the main part of the cab desk, you can see the line volt and MCB VCB indicators. If line volt is lit, it means it is detecting active power. If it is not lit, you must either press the CTRL button to raise the pantograph if there are wires above you, or press the DC button to lower the third rail pickups if there is a third rail underneath you. If MCB VCB is lit, it means that a power cutout switch called a circuit breaker is open, which means power is not being made available to the train. Currently, we have line volts, however, so we can move on. The train is now ready to depart. Now drive a loop of the circuit to get used to the controls. Coasting is a method used. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the power handle into the braking range. The British Rail Class 395 Javelin is a high-speed dual-voltage electrical multiple unit, capable of running on both third rail and overhead electrification. 29 Javelins were built in Japan by Hitachi between 2007 and 2009 for Channel Tunnel Rail Link, or CTRL, domestic services. The Class 395 is capable of running at 140 miles per hour under AC overhead electrification and up to 100 miles per hour on DC third rail.
I don't know what we're meant to do. You don't like it outside the train.
You are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force to bring the train to a gentle stop. Nice job! The train has safely come to a stop. You can now use the door control to open the passenger doors. Good work! That concludes all of the basics of operating this train.
Ah. Right, I think that is going to be for the night. Have a good one.